So I'm going to have another look at the Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl Collector Tin Edition. It's not a super detailed edition, there's only a couple of extras, but one of the main things I want to have a look at is the bonus disc. It's got a lot of stuff on there. I thought it might just be a soundtrack and maybe a couple of images and things like that. So here's the tin opened. It has also the manual, which I couldn't fit on screen, and this one actually didn't have it, but I've checked and it appears to be the same manual as in the regular version. So my version that I purchased first from just EB Games was the regular version, and I noticed the disc on a lot of the versions it looks actually quite similar to the bonus DVD that's on the collector tin, but obviously it's completely different contents, but it almost looks the same, very similar pattern. So I thought that was interesting. Some of the ones that I've seen online are this version with the face that looks to be the same model or whatever. I wonder if that was a real model. I think it was someone covered in makeup. That would be interesting to find out about. So with the tin, there's the regular game, and that just has the discs in it. The bonus disc, the survival guide, which seems to have some unique content. I flipped through that and had a bit of a look at the weapons and things like that. But there's like detailed information about all the different anomalies and some of the artifacts, all the enemies, things like that. So it's actually pretty interesting. I might try and scan some in or find some, have a bit of a closer look at that. And then there's the zone map. So what I want to do is I want to jump across to having a look at the DVD and just go through it and see what we can find. Okay, let's take a look at this bonus DVD for Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. It comes with some of the limited edition packs, and I thought I'd just start it from the very beginning. So we've got the map of Europe and obviously where the Chernobyl incident is, and they've chosen some of the main languages. The music is quite loud. I've turned it down a little bit via the recording software, but it's quite jarring. So I'll go British or English. So it says 2006 there, and then the music just stops. Oh no, it goes to the regular menu music. So it's all official release by THQ and GSC, 2006. So I won't spend too much time. I won't look at absolutely everything, but it is worth looking at. It's got some stuff on there that I haven't seen before in any other of my extra downloads and special features and stuff. And albeit it has dated the look of it, the layout and everything, and the fact that it doesn't seem to use most of the screen because it's in the old 4:3 kind of ratio. But yeah, let's take a look. So it's got like a soundtrack thing here. You can stop the music or you can just turn it down. So let's look at the start. So it's got like little short movies and things. So this is sort of your main page for each section. It has just the text, and then it's got some things you can choose to have a look at.
A number of people who've been exposed to radiation will develop bleeding and infection. Such individuals can be rescued.
The world is appalled, and they want to know why you didn't warn them.
It is my understanding that no
Okay, so you've got a range of kind of your media footage, and then, you know, sort of documentary footage and some stalker footage mixed in. It's got the, oh, you can seek through. Okay, wasn't quite able to do it before. So it's got some documents and things here about the Chernobyl incident, and it's got sort of the first incident in 1986, and then it kind of leads into, yeah, some of the, I guess, the dot points and things. It's pretty interesting. It's a bit hard to read. I'll crop this video down so there isn't so much empty space. And then it's got some stuff about what they wanted, and as a lot of you would know, it was initially going to be called Oblivion Lost. That's the mod that I played the most of back in the day. It was really good. It sort of brought in some of the newer features, like the, you know, what are they called? You know, when there was like a storm. I can't remember the name. But yeah, so it was going to be called Oblivion Lost and then Stalker Oblivion Lost. So I think they probably wanted to tie in something to do with Chernobyl to make it a bit more obvious, and to be quite honest, that got my interest because I was interested in Chernobyl at the time and had followed the I'd read all about it and followed the Fukushima fallout as well, so I was sort of into this idea of, yeah, nuclear fallout and the disaster zones and things like that. Here's the crew that made one of the best games ever made. We've got some, oh yeah, pans across, here we go. Thanks, fellas. And apparently some of them actually went to the area, to the exclusion zone, and had a bit of a look around. So let's see what else we've got. I think I'll just decide as I go whether I play the videos all the time. Some of them are quite long. Okay, so that's more of a promotional video. So more stuff about the zone. Okay, so it's just some descriptions, just one page. What's interesting is, if you've seen the Stalker movie by Tarkovsky, when I played the game first and then I learned about the movie, and it was interesting because I always assumed the movie was about the nuclear power plant, but then I realised after watching the movie a couple of times that they don't refer to it. It's actually a mysterious exclusion zone, so there's a lot of similarities. There's even a character called Porcupine or something, which is one of the artifacts, and there's little references to the movie all through it. But it's a combination of that movie. I think is a combination of a couple of books, but then yeah, Tarkovsky took it a long way further, and it was also a real struggle to make the movie. There was a lot of technical issues, and they had to redo a few sections and things like that, and it was just a real battle. And it kind of reminds me of the process that the guys at who produced this game at GSC, they, the struggles they had as well, and you could really tell it's a labour of love, which I think is something that's really missing these days in games. So we've got a gallery. Now I thought there were some interesting pictures in here, screenshots, but then it goes into some drawings, which I'll flick through. A lot of screenshots with sort of layered, like distressed, aged look. And these are also in the folder. You can see the full images in the actual file explorer. I thought there were some drawings. Must be another one. No, that's all. Okay, there are some drawings somewhere. So we've got these interesting screenshots and things. So it's gonna make me load it up. I don't want to do that, but maybe some other time. And this is playing.
I'm Laura Disney, and I'm the product marketing manager on Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, and I'm going to talk you through what you're about to see.
We need every gun in support. Damn! It's a military landing force.
So this is a full playthrough of the Agriprom section, but it doesn't let me skip ahead, unfortunately. I can fast forward,
To this faction.
but I can go back, but I can't go forward. But it's a long play of the Agriprom missions, so that's pretty interesting. Then we've got a map of the zone, and it's got, you can zoom in and out. It's got these interesting old school phone controls, red forests, and where's Cordon down the bottom. So there we go, there's old mate, the trader. So that's interesting that they'd put that in. Then we've got the aftermath. So yeah, we'll check this out. The concept art is something I want to look at. So they're just showing screenshots of like photos and footage of the real site and then the renders. So, which is, I think, you know, was a big draw card to the game, really, how truthful it is to the real thing. Okay, so got some of the different stalkers. Oh, okay, and we've got all the different factions and things. Now let's look at the concept art. There's some pretty cool drawings in here. So these are the digital art, and then it's got some good concepts, and then it goes into, so it's like a digital painting, like with a brush effect and things like that. Then it goes into some sketches. And here we go. So these really nice drawings. They're like pencil drawings. If you've got the GOG version, I think you can access some of these in your extras. Not all of them though. So there's our favourite bloodsucker. And there were some others in here that were taken from the game, like they weren't released in the game. So that's pretty interesting. This one was not released. Like good sketching, good tonal work. And then yeah, there's some of those in the game somewhere. They're sort of a giant. Whoever drew these looks like they enjoyed themselves. They had a good time. Yeah, so some of these I don't think were in the game at all. But yeah, good drawings. Just thought I'd show you that. Oh, and then we've got visits to Chernobyl. So there's photos of the sites, and like some of these you can get online. Others you probably have to look around a bit. But I remember seeing some of these online from GSC or unofficially. Because I don't know, but by the fact that they're blurred their faces out, they may not be allowed to be there. I'm not sure. But there are some sites that are in the game that are, you know, like that pool that's in the game somewhere. I can't remember where off the top of my head, but I remember there was a poltergeist or something in that zone, in that area, throwing barrels at me. I remember that. And they're pretty famous murals and things. And I wonder, just like the fact that there was a disaster here, whether it would have such a mystique to it if there wasn't a disaster. But that is a pretty, a pretty evocative image. So they're actually in the zone, and these rows of trees and things, very, very similar to what's in Stalker. They remind me of like a poplar tree or something. I'm obviously Australian, but some places do have these growing. They're very, very vertical, very upward pointing branches. Someone might know if you can let me know what trees they are. You've got this machinery graveyard, or war machines and cranes and things, transport. Just some really evocative images. You can imagine a stash in there, Amazing. Amazing imagery. I think that's almost the end. Oh no, we've got a radiation detector of sorts. And we've all jumped in the back of these with the crates in the back. Oh, lots of pictures. Lots and lots of pictures. Amazing. In some of these areas, you can always hear it. You can hear the water dripping and the little air vents squeaking, and yeah, that's all. Oh, and then comparison gallery. So yeah, some of the rendering that they did using the reference images. So I think from us, I guess Westerners, there's something very, very alien about this area, the zone. Something very mysterious about it, and I think because it's so desolate and the architecture is very different. This kind of architecture, it's very different to what we have. I know in Australia, there's some old factories and things that are very interesting to look at, with broken things, but not in the same way. There's something, this architecture, the Soviet style architecture, is really interesting. Look at that. I didn't know that was in the game. I have to look for that. It's funny, it's outside and it's inside there, but they wanted to use it somewhere. And the patina on the paint. And we can't forget the Ferris wheel. And this is some of the marketing material. There's some good images here and interesting directions that they took it. Like, to think about some of these images, like whether it would have had the impact with some of these. Maybe that one that looks closer, but that's using Biohazard and a raven rather than the nuclear symbol, and very different font and things like that. That one's almost a traditional Stalker image, but different fonts. This, I don't know what this creature is. This looks like some sort of wild animal. And then we'll start to get closer to the familiar imagery that we know and love. And then some of these 3D renders, very idiosyncratic, and some I guess some mock-ups as well of life in the zone. The invisible enemy is revealed. And then Oblivion Lost. I'm not sure what on booth 000 means. And that's a Vintar or something. Can't wait to get one of those. I'm playing through the game at the moment. As you sow, so shall you reap. Deuteronomy 30. Okay, so Stalker Oblivion Lost. Remember of the catastrophe and think of the future. So you can see they're starting to, like, I don't know what order these are in, but the order they're in here, they're starting to move you towards the idea of Chernobyl. And I think there's a Chernobyl. Yeah, don't know if that's a sign, not sure. And then it's Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. So they've leaned heavily into the Chernobyl aspect. And then there's the one that is probably the most common, the final product, which is a, you know, very evocative image. And then this, I'd love to know if there was a model, like photography, and whether there was other images of this, whether they, it's like I had a cracking paint or something, or whether they used Photoshop and textured it. I'd be interested to know. They got like the eye facing the opposite direction and stuff. But I guess you could do a lot of that with Photoshop. Reminds me, obviously, the patina in the paint in a lot of the buildings. But none of this does the real game justice. I think most of us will agree that there's something about this game that there's nothing like it. And it's, you know, it's getting close to 20 years old, and it's still, like, coming back to it. When I heard that Stalker 2 was coming out and it was on its way to be released, I thought, I can't wait to play Stalker 1 again and just relive it all, and on a modern system, even though right now I'm playing vanilla. I'd love to get one of those. It looks like it might not be a real thing, it might be a render, but how cool is that? You could make one of those. That's so cool. And a stand like that. I wonder if anyone's got one of those, whether it's real. I can't remember seeing these. As I said, in Australia, it wasn't a huge rollout from memory. It was definitely advertised at local game stores, but it was just on the shelf. Maybe a poster or something. It wasn't like this. You weren't in the streets seeing Stalker things. It was a little bit more niche than that. I think I'll skip the trailers. I think you can see those online. I think they go for a little while. It's more game footage. And then
whole area with army forces, and they let nobody in until
so this is their
solution and information.
Talking about the creation of the game. So I don't know if you can find this online. It'd be good to watch it. I think it'd be better to watch it on YouTube because the footage will be better.
We remodeled the
all right, and and then there's a bunch of things you can download on the the cutting room. So there's some creatures that didn't make it in. I remember that was put back in Oblivion Lost. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't remember what it was, but I remember that looks familiar. And that's the poltergeist from memory. But these guys, Buras or whatever they're called, they might be in the game. I can't remember. I'm a bit foggy with it because I played a lot of modded versions. And then, some similar conceptual drawings. I think there's a lot of similar ones. So that's the bonus DVD. If you have a copy of this, it's a good idea to open it up and you can check out some of the other things, the wallpapers and icons and banners and things. But there's some good little videos, and I don't know, it's just a lot of charm to it. It's very nostalgic, and it is nostalgic now. It's it's nearly 20 years old. It's 2025 now. We're in year 19, so it's hard to believe. And what's even more amazing is we're still playing it and enjoying it after all these years. So if you've got any comments, let me know, and if there's any trivia or things that I've mistaken, just let me know and chuck it in the comments. Thank you very much.